Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm painting this peaceful forest lake scene on a black canvas. Painting on a black canvas instantly gives depth and richness to the colors. It makes the greens look deeper, the highlights glow more, and it helps create a natural sense of shadow from the very beginning. It's a wonderful way to build contrast quickly. Of course, if you don't have a black canvas, you can absolutely use a white one. You would simply need to build your darker base layers first before adding the highlights. To begin, I use a dry sponge and lightly apply white paint to the upper part of the canvas. This soft layer helps create a misty light effect in the background and prepares the surface for the brighter foliage that will come later. Next, I mix blue, yellow, and a small touch of black to create a deep, rich green. This will be the base color for the distant trees and bushes. As you can see, I allow small areas of the black canvas to remain visible between the green tones. This adds natural depth and prevents the background from looking flat. By adding more white and yellow to the mixture, I create a much lighter green. With this, I begin forming the second layer of trees, adding more definition and subtle detail. Each time I slightly adjust the mixture, adding a bit more yellow to warm it up or more blue to cool it down, I create variation in tone. Layer by layer, the forest begins to take shape. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Tell me in the comments which country you're joining me from. It makes me so happy to see how far our art community reaches around the world. Now I mix a bright turquoise green using blue, yellow, and white. I apply this as the base color of the lake. Over this, I add a thin layer of blue to enrich the water and unify the tones. Toward the lower part of the lake, I darken the color slightly with deeper green to suggest depth. For the rocks beneath the water, I mix brown using yellow, red, and black. I softly indicate the shapes of submerged stones, allowing them to appear partially visible through the water. I use this same brown mixture to paint the large tree trunk in the foreground. At the base of the tree, I shape several large rocks to anchor the composition. In the distance, I place a small waterfall flowing gently into the lake. I add rocks on both sides of the waterfall, highlight them carefully, and then begin painting the falling water. Using layered white and soft turquoise highlights, I create the sense of movement and light, reflecting off the water's surface. I enhance the glow across the lake by adding bright, light turquoise highlights where the sunlight touches the water. These small reflective strokes create a shimmering effect and bring the scene to life. Now I move to the large tree trunk in the foreground. On one side, I add brighter highlights to suggest light hitting the bark. On the opposite side, I deepen the shadows to create volume and roundness. Near the base and roots, I soften the area with touches of mossy green to give a natural, organic feel. Next, I shape the foreground rocks. I begin by blocking in their general form with white. Then I darken the areas that fall into shadow. By adjusting light and dark carefully, I define their hardness, weight, and three-dimensional structure. I return once more to refine the water highlights and balance the reflections. Using a liner brush and a dark color diluted slightly with water, I add thin branches to the tree. Then I place darker leaves along the branches, finishing by highlighting the outer leaves with a lighter green to suggest light catching their edges. To add even more detail to the lower part of the composition, I paint a small plant growing beneath the large tree. This final touch adds richness and makes the foreground feel more complete and alive. Truly hope you enjoyed creating this peaceful forest lake scene with me. Thank you so much for painting along. Until the next artwork, see you soon.